I'm part of Schaefer's top jazz orchestra. It's the best music school in the country.
Were you rushing or were you dragging?
I don't know.
Answer!
How's it going with studio band?
I think he likes me more now.
I push people beyond what's expected of them.
I'm gonna keep pursuing what I'm pursuing because I want to be great.
Whiplash, rated R.
Hello, I'm Thomas Carruthers.
Wait, I'm gonna laugh.
It's all right, laugh. It's fine. It's good.
Something.
Okay. Hello, I'm Thomas Carruthers.
The headphones. I just can't.
What's wrong with my headphones? We've just talked for 10 minutes with me wearing these headphones.
Yeah, but I just realised that you had them on. I just don't understand why you got them on. Anyway, we can start now.
Is there sound cancelling? Because I go to the gym now and I need sound cancelling headphones.
Oh, so you want to wear them so someone asks you why you have them so you can say you go to the gym.
That's not what it is.
Okay.
Lauren, I've missed you dearly. I've missed you dearly. And it's that sort of brutal body shaming that I've missed most. No, I don't wear them. Because I used to wear AirPods at the gym. But I'd be listening to like an audiobook and there'd be some goddamn, like...
Is it an audiobook at the gym?
Sometimes.
That's like a new low. That's a new low.
It's not a new low. It's no lower than that bike I used to have in my room.
No, I think it's par.
Lauren,
Anyway,
you haven't been on one of these in years. Oh, sorry. You want to do it? Hello, I'm Thomas Carruthers.
Hello, I'm Lauren Stevenson.
Mia. Ooh, spotlight.
I'm bringing that back.
I like it.
Thank you. Well, no, I haven't been on one, I think, since the Polar Express.
Yes, you
Since I
did.
went on the Polar Express.
Yeah, it was the Polar Express.
Or was it?
You did Nativity. Which came first?
Did I do Being a Wallflower, or did I just comment on that one?
No, you wanted to do Perks of Being a Wallflower, but it had already been done.
It's fine. Yeah, I did.
What came first? Was it?
I think it was
Nativity?
Polar Express, because I remember doing that in Paul's.
Yeah. Christmas.
And I have to say,
Yes.
didn't even rewatch them. So this is the first one that I've actually got notes. So
No, it was Nativity. You did Nativity in Christmas of whenever that was. I can't even remember when that was. Anyway, it all blends into one. My life is chaptered. You were getting quote unquote jealous of all the people doing all the podcasts, and so you wanted to do one yourself.
I mean, you could use jealous, but I was like seeing, all the things you posted. Then I was like, who are all these random people? Like, why haven't I been asked to? Then I could decline. You know what I mean? Like,
Lauren, I love you dearly, but we've been very close friends for a very long time. And then there's been, for a litany of reasons, and personal ventures and, personal issues, there's been a series of years where we just haven't talked. And so this is wonderful. And so, I didn't want to...
You say years we haven't talked. It's not even... But I was actually thinking the other day, like, the fact that I met you when I think you were my age now. Or younger. And I thought you were old. Because I met you when I was 18 and I'm now 22.
Yeah, I would have been... No. I was... When was the first year of university? Because I'm born in 2000, so whatever the year is my age.
So you would have been 20.
I would have been 20.
So, and the fact that I literally looked at you as an old man. I'm older.
We're all getting up. We're all slowly. So you're only... Wait, no, that age doesn't... Oh, no, I am 24 now. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
because you're the same age as my sister. And it's also so easy with your birthday because it's like 2000. You just have to look at the year.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's hard for anybody to remember their birthday.
Yeah, but I mean for other people to remember it.
Yes. So ages ago in COVID, the first time we did this, we had a series called the 3 Picks series, where people would choose 3 films, and that was it. And so I thought, what a wonderful way to bring this back. And so you gave
To
me,
bring back COVID.
well, you did just cough on cue.
No,
So
honestly, I actually thought I had COVID last week. First thing, but I've been very ill. Anyway, carry on.
it's all right. So you gave me a long list of we'll say some of the possibilities. Okay, I'm prepared to get judged. Perseverina
Always.
Wallflower is great, but we've already done it.
I actually have to say that's my favorite film ever.
It's a great film. Beautiful Boy, bleak, very bleak.
But I've never known you to like not like something because it's bleak.
No, I just think that's a bit average. I'll be honest. It's like my
Okay.
fourth favorite Timothée Chalamet performance.
But I feel like you just don't like him as a person anyway.
No, I loved Call Me by Your Name. I loved Bones and All. He was great. I didn't think he was terrible in Wonka.
I haven't watched One Piece yet, but I keep on hearing the soundtrack when I have like Spotify on, you know, like a random mix, and it just makes you want to die.
Yeah. Well, there's chocolate and there's chocolate. That's one of it. That's a real lyric. American Sniper. But I could have guessed 100 movies and not guessed that you love American Sniper.
No, but my favorite movies are either sports related or kind of like actiony war things that aren't Marvel.
Okay, well, explain the three that we've decided to do: Whiplash, Father of the Bride, and The Whale. The Whale, which the Whale, which let the record show
right.
she did use emojis of whales on to show.
No, but American Sniper, I think it's on my letterbox like 4.
Is it? What is your letterbox for?
Yeah. Sometimes it changes, you know.
Well, it's all right.
The Whale on there. The Whale,
Yeah.
The Whale and Perseverina Wallflower stay. American Sniper resurfaced because I rewatched it the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Let me have a look. Bear with. What else is on there? How do I find it?
I don't know.
Oh, at the moment, oh my god, you're literally gonna hate it. For my 5 favorites, After Sun.
I loved After Sun.
Okay, I loved it.
Why did you think I would? Why did you
Because
think I would?
you'd be like, oh, she's doing too much. My at the moment, my 5 are After Sun, The Whale, Saltburn, American Sniper, and Promising Young Woman.
Okay.
I like to be inclusive with my choices.
Yeah. Well, you know, I like Saltburn a lot more than I like Promising Young Woman. I'll save it for the Whale episode. You should know, Lauren, that I hated The Whale.
Of course you did. I went to a screening in New York with Darren Aronofsky. How do you ever say his name?
Darren Aronofsky. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. We'll talk about that on our next episode. But our other 2 movies are 2 movies that I greatly love. Father of the Bride, which is a huge comfort watch for me, and I could watch it every day of the week. And Whiplash. Now, Whiplash is the first movie we're talking about.
Yeah.
Why do you love? Everybody can love whatever they love, but when I think of why do you love Whiplash, like what's your in? Because I don't see you as a particular like jazz lover. I think you like Miles Teller, but you've never talked about like La La Land or Babylon or First Man, any of Damian Chazelle's other movies. So what is it about Whiplash?
I think when I try and think of like my perfect movie, it's something that makes me want to do what they're doing.
I completely agree. This is great.
You know what I mean? So I literally watch the movie and I'm like, I'm gonna start drumming. You know what I mean? And then like I watch Father of the Bride and I'm like, I'm gonna get married in my family house.
I watch Father of the Bride and I want a daughter.
Yeah. So I think that's like my thing of a perfect movie is it wants me to do the obscure thing that they're doing.
I'm sorry, again. So what is your reaction when you watch The Whale?
I want to kill a whale. No, that's like me. Like, I want to help them. Back to Whiplash.
Hashtag I can fix him, but it's Brendan Fraser in The Whale.
Yes. Anyway, save that for The Whale. Literally. Yeah, it makes me, and it's one of those movies that I also like to think of like a phone level with movies. Like, you know, when you're watching something and it's like phone level 8, like I'm on my phone so much because I'm so bored.
Yeah, I understand that.
You know what I mean?
I call it second screening. I've never heard of the levels of phone, the famous phone level scale.
Well, I'm literally not on my phone with this. I don't need like a snack. Like I'm not. I just feel, I don't know. There's something about how it's filmed like an old film. Do you know what I mean? You know when there's like snatches of all the city, I feel like it's got that like old feel to it. I love the music.
Yeah.
Love the music. It's classic in the way of like they pick on the fat one.
Again, hashtag The Whale.
I just think it's just an incredible movie. I've only got one bad thing about it, but
okay,
we'll want to get to that.
Well, before we zone in more particular on Whiplash, let's do a general Damian Chazelle talk. Are you a La La Land fan? Are you a First Man fan? Are you a Babylon fan?
I actually have to say, I liked Babylon. This is like, it's my fatal flaw. I have a thing where if like a movie is so hyped up and everyone's talking about it, it makes me hate it.
People have this opinion of me, and it's not actually true. But for you, it's true. Anyway, go on, sorry.
Yeah, like I didn't watch Hamilton for the first like 3, like I think I watched Hamilton when I was in the end of second year, and everyone in our first year was obsessed with it, and I was
we watched Hamilton together, didn't
we? No, I went with a group of people to see it.
I was there with Leanne and when we went for Leanne's birthday.
Yes, sorry, you were there, and I loved you. I love what you were wearing that day. That was the first time I've ever seen it and listened to the music. Like I was like in refusal to engage because it just like made me cringe where everyone would be like singing, and now I love it.
Yeah, but we were ruined because we were sat next to 3 people who were fucking doing it the whole show. Like, but I want to see my show.
Yeah, but
I was like, shut the fuck up.
That would be me now. So my confession is I've actually never watched La La Land.
Oh, you've never even watched it?
No, because there was a girl in my sixth form and she was like, La La Land! And I was like, fuck off. Like, so.
But you like Babylon?
Yeah. I mean, it was good.
It was great. Babylon was great.
I'm just going to answer this.
Okay. Yes, Lauren's going to answer it. Because you know that most people hate Babylon.
I think I didn't really have an opinion. Like, I just sort of looked. I honestly can't even remember watching it, but I know I watched it.
This will infuriate you. We had a one night stay in New York on the ship, and
didn't know where that was going.
One night, no, there was one night stay in New York, and I didn't know if I had to do the quiz on board until late, and so I didn't book a show. And I spent my night in New York. I watched Avatar 2 and Babylon at the cinema.
That's horrific.
I know. And then I met people at Zarni's and I had a Negroni, which was nice.
Oh, well, that's nice. Well, I have a similar thing when Gabby came to visit me in New York, obviously from Philly, it's like a drive. We booked to see Funny Girl when Lee Michelle was in it. Lee Michelle?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we booked the tickets. It cost me like 50 quid. 2 days before, my parents call me, surprise, we're coming to New York. I was like, yes, oh my God. The night of my Funny Girl tickets, so then I was like, okay, parents, like Funny Girl, like serious dilemma. And they like booked a meal for us to go on the first night, which was the day of the Funny Girl. So I couldn't go.
Well,
I regret it to today.
I don't know what Leah Michelle would say, but I know what Rachel Berry would have said.
I think she'd stab me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, everybody hates Babylon, so I'm happy about this. No, La La Land is
So maybe I need to watch it. Like, It's like
Babylon.
what did I watch the other day?
I don't know.
Inglorious Bastards.
Yeah.
That is.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was good, but I was also like, I like love stories like this when they're real, and I'm like, yeah. Then I'm like, but this side just did not happen.
No, that's fine. No, that's
You know what I mean? I'm
yeah.
just kind of. I love the whole like anger and like violent scenes of it, but then I'm like, this just didn't happen. Why am I watching it?
Yeah, but I thought you loved Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, but that's like closer to the truth.
How is it close to the truth?
Because like Sharon Tate did get killed.
No, but but the whole point of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is that she didn't get killed.
I thought at the end she just get killed.
No, that's the whole point of the film.
Oh, I clearly didn't like that one either.
Let's talk about a movie you did like, Whiplash, a movie that in my house is surrounded by only one anecdote. When me and my family watched it, we all loved it, and we recommended it to my grandma, and she then watched it, and she turned it off after 10 minutes because, well, I put it on and I'd had a headache all day. And I was like, you chose to watch this the day you had a headache. Huge independent success. I mean, produced by Blumhouse, who make horror movies largely, and they put the money towards this. And I mean, it was based off a short film, which was sort of made as a proof of concept. We're going to get the short film, and then that will show to investors, and then we'll get money for it. The short film stars J.K. Simmons and a guy. Well, this is the sliding doors, and a guy in the Andrew role, and then they bring in Miles Teller because he actually has drumming experience and was a drummer, drumming trained. And since he was 15 years old, and he took further training, 4 hours a day, 3 days a week to prepare for the movie, and then they keep J.K. Simmons, and it's an incredibly tight hour 40, moves like a bullet. I'm very similar. I've got a few minor changes, but nothing actually about the actual body of the film. And you've got two just powerhouse performances. J.K. Simmons wins the Oscar, and on top of winning 47 awards for his role as Fletcher. And it was just kind of.
Miles Teller didn't win it. Didn't he win anything?
Are you ready for this? I don't know how. Do you get angry about the Oscars? I don't know. He didn't get nominated.
Which is absolutely like, you just, even if he was shit, the drumming would deserve a nomination anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So people nominated that year. Your beloved American Sniper, Bradley Cooper, gets nominated. Benedict Cumberbatch for The Imitation Game, which is like.
Can I just say, I don't like him.
Oh, you don't like him?
No, I don't get it. But I like The Imitation.
Oh, okay. You know who loves Benedict Cumberbatch? Jazz.
Jazz, if you're watching this, why? Like, get it.
Steve Carell was nominated for Foxcatcher. Do you even remember that one?
Yes, because
Tatum
on
with the
Netflix
nose.
there's like Foxcatcher the documentary, and then like Foxcatcher the movie. They're both equally as strange.
The Oscar race came down to two people. Michael Keaton didn't win for Birdman, which I'm still angry about. Do you know who did win?
Who?
Eddie Redmayne for The Theory of Everything.
Yeah, but this is what annoys me, because that's one of the kind of wins where it's like, they have to make him win. Do you know what I mean?
Well, this is the thing. It's like, Austin Butler talking about how he can't change his voice. He actually hurt his spine. It was like, that's not good acting.
Just like living it. I feel like, though, I'm surprised they didn't give it to Bradley Cooper, because they would have made a whole thing about our American war hero. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but who's voting? It's not the American public, it's the American Academy. So most of them will be anti-war because they'll be heavily liberal.
You make a point.
Thank you. But Michael Keaton should have won for Birdman, is the moral of this story. It did win. It got two other nominations, and it got one other win for. Did it win editing? I can't remember. Best sound mixing and best film editing. Yes. So it did get a couple of nominations and wins, but yeah, no, it did get in for Best Picture because this is when they do 10 nominees for Best Picture, so they did get in, but Chazelle didn't get in for Best Actor or anything like that. Did it get in for Screenplay? No, didn't get in for Screenplay. Again, knocked out by like Foxcatcher and yeah. Again, a movie that like who nobody
Who
talks
asked
about
for that?
Foxcatcher. Yeah.
Also, who needs that movie? No one needs it. Anyway.
No one needs Foxcatcher. Did you watch it when it came out, or did you come to it later?
I actually cannot remember. Well, I can remember when I first watched it, but I don't remember the year. I think it was like 4 or 5 years.
It came out in 2014.
I might have watched it maybe a year after or a year of because I was in America visiting my cousins. This was probably maybe the year it came out, but I watched it at home. I didn't watch it at the cinema maybe a year later. And my auntie was like obsessed with this film and she would not stop talking about it. And then like she wanted to start take up drumming. And we were like, what? And then we had a family movie night we're in California visiting them. And we put it on and I just remember being like, this is like the best thing I've ever seen. And also because it is like you said, so tight and I'm not liking this whole thing of 3-hour movies now. I'm absolutely hating it. I don't understand why we think, oh, because I've made my movies 3 hours, it's better than yours. I can't stand it.
It's just very likable. It's kind of not, I'm sure, well, actually, let's talk about this before we take our first break. Most musicians hate this movie. Have you come across this before?
I came across one thing on TikTok and it was like, oh, little white boys when they watch Whiplash, I'm going to become a jazz performer.
That was literally you 20 minutes ago.
I am a white boy, but I don't understand why they wouldn't like it. I don't know, because it's not like this boy rehearses for a week and it's like incredible. Do you know what I mean?
I think it just paints a very toxic image of particularly the jazz world, but just like, you know, it paints a very toxic image of the only way you're going to be good at something is if you've got a guy who's swearing in your fucking face and like, you know.
Yeah, but that so far from the truth.
Well, this is the intrinsic question of the film, and this is why I think a lot of the criticism of it is mute, because I mean, we at Tar last year was great, and that was a movie that sort of reckoned with this in the modern world. But like, just because it's cancelable, or like, I mean, this movie, you could make the argument that this movie doesn't get made today. You know, he's throwing in slurs all the time. He's raging into the fat people. You know, like. He's just he's homophobic, he's racist, he's like all of these things.
Yeah.
And like you can see this movie being released in like some boring conversation about, you know, cancelling it or something like why are we validating J.K. Simmons? But it's not like these people don't exist. Like,
and I feel like especially with us, sorry to interrupt, you know, when he has a conversation with Nicole and he's like, where do you go? And she's like, Fordham. He's like, what do you do? And she's like, I've not taken a major. He's like, no, but what do you do? And it's like, she hasn't chosen yet. I think especially with us, like we obviously knew we were going to do drama, do acting, do whatever, and have that one line. And it is very rare for people who are not in like theatre arts. It's very rare to have like a streamlined vision of what you want to do.
Yeah. And
I think it in like art drama schools, though, people are dicks. Like it's. Yeah. I remember when I auditioned for Bruford and Tony made me read this like script from this Arthur Miller book, whatever. And
yeah, and you did it in an English accent?
No, I did it in American.
Oh, good.
And I read it and then I closed the book and I was like, and he went, that was shit. I was like, okay.
But it's, you know, and then for every, let's say, Tony, beloved Tony, let's say Tony does that to 10 people. You react that way and you get better. Let's say it's even an even split, but there is going to be one of those 10 people who start crying and break down and like, oh my God, I can't do that. You know, this is why I think a lot of the conversations around the film is this presenting a toxic environment? Is this validating it? Is this glorifying it? It's the fucking point of the film of to look and say, is this actually a good thing? Is this sort of teaching, if you can call it teaching, you might have an issue with that. Is bullying an effective teaching technique? And it shows a variety of different things, because we do get, and I remember, have you ever read the play Consent?
Yes.
Great play. And we had such an infuriating conversation in class.
Oh,
because
you did it for IRP, didn't you? Not IRP, you did it.
No, we did it over COVID. Anyway.
I thought you did contemporary scenes.
No, not me. Wasn't me. And there is, the whole point of the play is that these lawyers, and they're so self-obsessed, and in the background there is this rape case, and she eventually kills herself, and it's completely in the background because these lawyers are so self-obsessed. And there was this stupid fucking debate in class about, well, she should have had her own scene, she should have been more important. And I was like, that's the point of the film. Sorry, the point of the play is that she's being ignored. You can't give her a whole scene because that's the point. And that's the point here. You know, I'm sure that there'd be some people who say that the Sean Casey suicide subplot is underbaked, or should have been given more focus, or should have been put on more. But the whole point is that it's in the periphery. And sure, Andrew sells Fletcher out. That's not his driving motivation, because 10 minutes later, they're talking about Charlie Parker and they're having a good time in a jazz bar. And the minute that Fletcher's like, hey, you want to play drums for me again? He's like, yeah, you know what? Yeah. Sure. which is
and what does he say? What does Fletcher say? He says, like, there's no two worse words in the English language than good job.
Good job, yeah. Which is either something that you hear and go, yeah, I agree. Or, like, I'm sure there are people like Miss Honey types or something who go, that's horrible. That is the worst thing. But that's the point of the film. I think Chazelle is an incredibly intelligent writer and director, and I don't think he's choosing any side. And I mean, the film ends where it ends. You know, it's not got that Glee final episode. And Andrew Neiman is the best drummer in the world. You know,
he got the core at Lincoln Center.
Yeah, oh my God. And then Fletcher's in the audience and he goes, I know you had it in you.
He's like in cuffs.
He goes, he finishes drumming, and then he's at the back and he goes, I knew you had it in you.
He hands over his drumsticks.
No, and he goes, but it's still not my tempo. And they both laugh, and he walks away, and he's like, oh, you son of a bitch. And then
Nicole runs on stage.
Yeah, I changed my mind. Yeah,
I love
you. She should have been in the audience with the boyfriend and sees how good the drumming is. It was like, oh my God, I get it. We'll talk about the Nicole subplot when we come back from our first break. Is that your change? I feel like that's your change, or am I wrong?
Kind of.
Okay. We'll be talking about that after our first break, when we'll be back to discuss the wonderful Whiplash. And we're back. Okay. First time. They always did. They did. Ever since Nativity, they've been clamoring. They've said, "Oh, when are we going to get Lauren back up?"
Here I am.
You know, Lauren, at the end of Nativity, you said that you were going to come back for Fred Claus.
Because you know Vince Vaughn is my crush.
No.
Oh my God! Look at my little mug. Yeah, Vince Vaughn. I want to marry a man like Vince Vaughn. I love Vince Vaughn.
You know, I've been described as a Vince Vaughn type before, Lauren.
Oh, I'm sorry to break that to you, but you're more like the Santa.
So, oh, Giamatti.
Yeah, oh, he's in the holdovers, isn't he? I always forget that.
He's very good. Yeah. Do you also forget who plays the head elf?
He's always with Elizabeth Banks, isn't he? Because they do Pitch Perfect together. They're the judges.
Oh, I wasn't thinking about him. I was thinking about who Kevin Spacey plays.
He's not head elf.
Oh, sorry, Miss Fred Claus. Jesus Christ. Name, Lauren Mia Stevenson. Occupation, actress. Specialist subject, Fred Claus.
I could go on University Challenge. It would more be like University Challenge.
Very good. Very, very funny.
I I love my mug. Literally, look at it. So cute.
Are you
Bobby's
like?
York.
Are you getting free advertisements for this, or?
I wish. It's just so cute.
It's very cute, Lauren. Best 10-minute stretch: the first rehearsal and catching the out of tune player. And for the record, and then catching him, and for the record, Metz was out of tune. You were. Oh, sorry, Metz wasn't out of tune. You were Ericsson, but he didn't know, and that's bad enough. Let's talk about Fletcher. We haven't. Sorry, go on.
So that's your 10-minute stretch, your favourite?
No, grief. No, these are nominations. I then have dinner with the family, sort of as a thesis statement. Oh yeah, no.
I actually, because I think my favourite thing to watch is a dinner table scene. Hence why all my IRPs and contemporary scenes are around a table. I love a table.
You should make a short film called A Table.
Honestly, like, I think the best theatre ever is around a table. I think it's hilarious.
You think it's hilarious?
No, I just think that you can do so much.
Yeah. I mean, lots. Yeah. I mean, you were just in a play. I saw you in a play that had an extended table sequence. Yeah. And that has you think
that's the best?
No, I don't think that's the best table scene I've ever seen. No. I mean, my favorite plays. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? They're not really around a table.
What about? You didn't see my IRP, did you?
Did you do August Osage County?
No,
That's
I did.
a huge table scene.
How to Transcend a Happy Marriage? Sarah Rule. I did it around a table. It was so good.
I'm sure it was.
You missed that.
This has been happening whilst we've not been talking. Rian mentioned Oleana, and she talked about whichever side you're on, you're wrong, as if, well, it was Lauren's IRP, and she came up with that, and I was like, she didn't come up with that. That's the tagline. Lauren, I told you about the tagline to the film, which was
actually, give over, hold over.
Holdovers. I told you about whichever side you're on, you're wrong.
No, you didn't. I swear you didn't.
You messaged me saying, I want to do Oleana, but I don't know how to do it because I think the teacher that's marking it is going to be like, why does she hate women? Why does she victim blame?
Well, she did say that. Did I ever tell you the two reactions I got from them? Dana said that I was doing theatre, and Tony said that I was representing the teacher's first accused of sexual assault, and he thanked me. I said, you are welcome.
Oleana's a great play. I'd do that podcast. Very heavy. A lot heavier than this.
Oh, no, I love that. I'm in a David Mamet resurface as well. I've just reread An American Marriage.
Oh, is that the
Not
lesbian
American
one? Boston Marriage.
Yes, Boston Marriage. American
Buffalo.
It actually hurts my head because I've just been doing my master's interviews as well, and to actually say them correctly has been driving me nuts. So it's Boston Marriage, American Buffalo.
Boston Marriage is lesbians. American Buffalo is the kids, the two guys who run the dime store.
Yeah, I'm talking about the lesbian one. Love that play.
That's because he got so angry of people saying he can't write women. So it's like, I'm going to write a play just with women.
Yeah, but I feel like it annoys. So should we save this for another podcast because I'm going to go off now?
Yeah, go. You've got 30 seconds on David Mamet. Go.
It annoys me when people are like, "Oh, he doesn't write good women." Wouldn't you love to play like an evil woman that he writes? Like, do you know what I mean? Like Claire in Oleana is such a good part. Like, I'd love to play that part. Just because she's not like a hero saving woman doesn't mean she's not a good part. Sorry.
Well, no, this is what we go back to Whiplash. Glengarry Glen Ross, he has edited out some of the racism. But to be honest, that's stupid because there's still racist salesmen. You know, like this. Of course there is. I mean, there's no point anyway. But again,
you know,
podcast.
One other thing, I read a play that I hated, and you will also hate, but I kind of love to hate. It's a all-female contemporary retelling of Lord of the Flies.
Oh, okay.
And guess what it's called?
Lord of the Flies. I don't know.
Flies. It's just flies.
It's just flies. You know, I was in my final high school production was Lord of the Flies, except there was only me and another boy, and there were 4 women. So they literally did, and instead of just calling them like Lauren, they were like, okay, well, Harry, what are the people called?
Oh, I can't remember.
Jack became Jackie. The best one was Simon became Simone. And she was just a white woman. And I had to be like, come on, Simone. And I was like, that's not a white girl name. Is it?
I don't know.
I don't know. I only think of Nina.
It's just because you only think of Simone Biles.
No, who is that? I think of Nina Simone.
Oh, that is so funny. That does not where my head goes to.
Well, that's fair enough. Other nominees for best. Oh, sorry. You think it's a joke? Come play with us. 4 words you'll never hear from the NFL. I kind of have issues with it, but the rushing and crashing the car and rushing to get your sticks, and that's my fucking part.
Oh,
very tense. And that is a nomination. Then final 2 nominations, and these are probably second place and then the winner.
Can I give my own nominations as well?
Yes, of course you can. Go.
Okay, so my favorite 10-minute stretch, a funny story about, I think the beginning is fabulous. I love it. Love the beginning. I love how it's like that long corridor and you came out like, mm-hmm. But funny thing is, as I watched it a few days ago, because I just to refresh for revision, I watched it downstairs and I was like, oh wow, I don't remember the beginning like this. Like the drumming sounded like thunder. It was very like, it didn't sound like drumming, it sounded like and I was like, wow, so like a cool, my TV was broken. and it was like, and then when Fletcher came in, he was mute and he couldn't say, and then they were having this conversation but with mute. I was like, oh, I forgot it was like this, but it makes a big thing. Like, no, my TV was broken.
The first time I ever watched Halloween was at like my aunt's house and her TV was broken. And so I watched the whole thing with like this green hue. It was all green. And I was like,
spooky.
I was like, oh yeah, I thought, oh, what an interesting choice.
My other nominations are the ending, obviously.
Yeah,
that's like obvious, but that's all. Yeah, that's the winner. There's no debate about that. Or I love, it's like classically the scenes where he's like goes back and he's like, I'm gonna fucking do this, I'm gonna win, and like he's drumming and he has like that the jug of ice and it's like hand goes in it and all seeps through. I love that compilation of him, and he like brings his mattress in rehearsal room. Like, yeah.
So it's like in New York. It is New York, isn't it? Yeah. And so he can afford, where is his drum room? Because that's not his bedroom. So he's got a flat, but he's also got a drum rehearsal room.
No, but I think the drum rehearsal room is at the university.
Okay, so how the hell did he drag his mattress there?
Or, this is actually a good one. It's like in CC, we have practice rooms, don't we? So maybe it's something like that.
Maybe it's something like that. Okay, so if it is something like that, who is the guy who lives next door? And he's like, are you for real? Drumming all night and all day?
But I think it is because also, how does Fletcher suddenly walk in his room? He's not in his apartment, is he? Like,
yeah, it must be unless he is. Unless he's like, I heard you're a drummer.
I'm looking for a core. No, I think it's at the musical school, and obviously it's like very select, so maybe they get like rehearsal rooms. I think that's what it is.
Okay, so if it's I'll talk about that later. The winner is the final performance.
Incredible.
Just an incredible shift after Fletcher at the bar, which is so nice and tender. And
this is the thing, mugged down. You know when you sent me Mr. Crescents and you said the change?
Yes,
I thought it meant like where like it switches.
Oh, I guess, yeah. What's the change is a bizarrely phrased question.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, where's like switching the narrative? Like, where do we mix this up? Because obviously, like, he has the meltdown and he gets hit by a truck and all that. But then I'm like, does he mean like when's the change where it's like back on track and it's go time and he's the hero? But I forgot that like how he's at the bar. I originally was like, oh, it's when he calls Andrew. He's like, Andrew, and he goes down. But then it tricks you because when he comes up to the drum kit when he's on stage,
I knew it was you.
You fuckhead. Like, I've watched it in ages. I was like, oh, it's literally just incredible.
Yeah. Great. I mean, Oscar performances, and you can very easily be like, oh yeah, he's very good at shouting, he's very good at insulting, yeah, give him the award. But it's those moments in the bar where on a third or a fifth watch, you're like, oh no, this is actually all bullshit. He is not actually being genuine. He's just trying to lull him in. Like when he says,
when he says, "Oh, your family musicians?" No, and he's getting the information, but he's only doing it to like use it because it's making.
That's where your fucking father failed.
Wait! One of my favorite quotes.
That's why Mummy ran out.
No, it's oh my god, where is it? Oh my god, okay, loads of notes. Oh, when he says whose mummy left when she figured out Daddy wasn't going to be a Eugene O'Neill.
Yeah, it's great. Also, very pop culture. He knows his pop culture. He knows Eugene O'Neill. He knows. And then, yeah, that incredible shift. And you think, oh my God, is this going to be the most depressing ending of all time? And
well, it's not going to be.
No, because then he turns around. His dad's.
One of the things I would change is when he goes, Andrew, what are you doing?
Yeah. What the fuck? What the fuck, man?
Andrew, what are you doing? I'm like, Fletcher.
I don't think he says it that high pitched.
No, he goes, Andrew, what are you doing, man? It's just like, you calm down.
Is this when he said, wait, and then when he says, I'm going to gouge your fucking eyes out?
No, it's when it goes black and you can hear, and he's like still playing.
Oh, yeah, about...
Andrew, what are you doing, man?
Oh, yeah, no, halfway through. So he's won him back over. And then he's like, just follow me. I'll cue you in. Yeah.
Also, how annoying is the freaking, what's it called? A bass? The bass?
Yeah, the upright bass. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, the guy's like, fuck off, man. Fuck. Like, I'm like, you're literally playing, shut up.
Yeah. And then he's back on, was like, let's just go into their mindset. The drummer who just fucked up his part, stormed off stage, has come back on and goes, and then all he has to say to the bassist is, "It's Caravan, join in." It's like, I know that Caravan's a very well-known jazz standard, and I have no unbelievability that all of these musicians would know Caravan, but like the fact that they're all just like, yeah, boom, 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 boom.
We're like, yeah, let's trust the crazy man.
And then when the song's over, see, that's the ending that we don't see. It cuts to black, and then he keeps going until the New York City police come and arrest him and sanction him. But what an ending! I mean, that just you talk about like movies. I mean, I know we made a joke about like if there was a flash forward, but like talk about a movie ending where it needs to end.
Yes,
and, like, not some bullshit scene after.
Of when he's like reunited. Yeah. Like, I think it was perfect that he had that time when he went off stage, hugged his dad, and then went back on.
And also we get that great moment with Paul Reiser, the dad, and see that face of nothing's gonna stop him. This is. I mean, Damian Chazelle has said in interviews, it's like, oh no, he thinks that Andrew will die in his 30s and like just burn out, which I think is pretty bleak.
Yeah, but again, like, it's what he said, isn't it? He'd rather do that than live to 90 and be sober, and no one knows.
Which is, I mean, it's why we all. Is it why we all do what we do? I think that's a very big prevailing theme of art. Is immortality.
It's like what he says, I want to be great. And then Nicole goes, you are. And he says, no, I want to be one of the greats.
Yeah.
So, but also I love how at the end as well, it's like, how they're constantly going on where he's like, yeah, my parents said I don't look people in the eye. I look at the floor. And then at the end, he's like.
Yeah. I'm very much enjoying this mumblecore. Sort of like, Netflix limited series version where it's a gay romance. Like, I never look people in the eye.
Yeah, but it is the first time he looks someone in the eye, isn't it? And then I love one of my favorite shots of the movie actually is when Fletcher smiles, but you can just see his like wrinkles in his eye.
Yeah. But it's like, again, talk about a movie ending where it needs to end. Because what happens next? He's like, all right, that's the most unprofessional thing that's ever happened on both of our accounts, but I'm going to work with you forever. Like, anyway, that's not the point. Do you have any other nominations for 10-minute stretch? Because I think that it's the final.
No, I think them. It was obviously it's the bit I love the beginning. I love the bit in the middle where he's like hands bleeding and he's like working really hard to get that out. Yeah. And then but the end's the winner. There's no doubt. So.
Tom's Widlow's specific favorite parts of the film. When he comes in at the very start after leaving, oopsie daisy, forgot my jacket. Very good sort of introduction to Fletcher of like, we know within a minute who this person is and the sort of humor that they wreak and of just, they don't care. I'll put this in here. The idea, I guess it's a change. The idea of a beautiful person who works at the cinema that you always go to. I mean, and knows your order. I mean, did they make this movie for me? Did they?
The usual.
Yeah, the usual. Do you want any Raisinets today? I was like, she is giving him so hard fuck me eyes. You're a lonely guy who goes to the cinema alone. Take. I mean, he does take the hint, but like, do you want, right. There are people at the cinema who clearly know that I have a large Pepsi Max and a large sweet popcorn because I have the same thing and I go all the time because this is my life. Not one of them have ever said, "Do you want the usual?" You know, like.
Because I feel like I'd be scared to be like, "Do you want the usual?" And they go, "No."
No. Also, American cinema snacks, disgusting. The idea of hot butter.
Did I have that when I was there? I think I did.
Did you go with Don't Worry, Darling?
Yes, I think I did actually. I went with my friend Emma, and she's actually was a psychology major, so the whole film for her was like some kind of trip.
I thought you were going to say she hated it, but
no, she was like analysing it. But it was, and then I think I got nachos.
I really can't get behind hot, smelly food in cinemas. I just can't do it.
My friends, not one of my sister's friends, said the other day she went to watch The Iron Claw, and her sister took a meal deal in with her.
Yeah, all of these sad movies, like literally. I went to watch The Zone of Interest, which is the new Holocaust, not by the time this comes out, but like the Holocaust movie, which is entirely based around sound design. You don't see anything. It's just in the background, you hear the screams and the smoke. And there's this guy next to me, just so chomping popcorn. And I'm like, I love popcorn so much. And I went, no, I'm not going to get popcorn for Killers of the, I did have for Killers of the Flower Moon, actually, but I'm not going to get popcorn for Zone of Interest. I'm not going to do it. Anyway. Let's see if it's just because you're cute. Yeah, that's why. Great early Fletcher. When he's bullying him and he goes, sight read the next page. What the fuck? Are you doing a fucking acapella group or something?
I love that bit. How much of a knob would you feel?
I love the little moment. Fletcher being lovely with that little girl. And
I thought that was like a stem to where, I don't know, I was like confused where that was in. I thought it was going to be like a seed that kind of unveiled later that he had like a dead daughter or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. There's a delete. So I like that scene because the minute he's quite, he hugs his other jazz buddy, he's clearly a nice guy, he's clearly a talented musician. And then he comes in, listen up, cocksuckers. That's his next line. There is a deleted scene that they got rid of, which is Fletcher coming home, putting on some jazz, and we see a framed photo of a wife and a daughter, and then he's just like sat there, and he's like clearly emotional. And they made the right choice cutting it because it's like it's not.
Yeah, because it's also like how emotional he gets over the death of that student.
Yeah.
So it's like yeah, this is his family. I don't think that would have worked. But I just thought it was a random. I guess it was put in to make him more human, like to make him.
I think it's the direct juxtaposition of having that and then immediately he's back to it. Listen up, cocksuckers.
Yeah,
I
get that.
I don't know. During the performance of Whiplash at one of the bands or one of the performances, the other drummer just sat there and sat down. It's like he's so sad. I didn't know that this was a thing, the whole second seat drummers thing.
No, neither did I.
I presume
Also,
it's real.
Well, yeah, but how degrading that you're just like when you know when he turns around and he's like that Conley's there and he's like, you just turned my fucking baby.
I mean, this is when we lead into the three drummers off for 5 hours.
Oh my god, I love that
and they're all sweating so incredibly much. I mean,
and the bleeding of the hands and the
bleeding in the hands. Connolly adjusting the seat. Ah, that's what it's been. You needed to adjust the seat. And when he's starting off, and and after the third person gets it wrong, you do fucker, and he just screams. And well, this goes into I like it's the same thing with Dead Poets Society. It's like, is Robin Williams like this with the rest of his class? Why is he so focused on the drums? Why? And he doesn't care about anything else.
I thought this, but I think it's the one person who he sees potential in, because the guy who he was crying over who died, he was
trumpeter or something.
Yeah, he wasn't a drummer, was he? So
no,
I think it's just that his highlight of that class, and obviously he said he brought Connolly in and the other guy just to piss him off, like as a tool to get against him. Can I say some of my weirdly specific things?
Shoot.
One of my favorites is the hand in the water. And it goes red. Love that. I love when he was like, it's like when he kept on putting his plasters on. And I was like, love that. What's my other thing? Oh, I love when he goes, let's do Whiplash. And they're like,
which in another movie could be incredibly cringeworthy. Like,
yeah, but in this, you're just like, and everyone's getting their sheets out from like behind the book.
Yeah, I mean, the opening number of La La Land is a song called Another Day of Sun, which you probably heard. And like that could have very easily been called La La Land. It's Another Day La La Land or something. And it's like such a good choice not to. And yeah.
Another thing, I still have some more things. When he mouths fuck you, when he's like at the end.
Yeah. Well, when he hits the hi-hat, it nearly knocks his.
And it hits him. I also love when Fletcher adjusts it at the end.
Yeah.
Harmony. I love when he's like taking his posters down. That sad bit makes me want to cry. What else? Love when they're doing that the swing thing. You know, the 2-time swing. They're like, and the three of them, the alternates, and blood everywhere. And then there's some of my favourite lines. I don't know if this is going into quotes now, though.
Let's do best line. We can go into it.
Okay. There's so many.
Yes.
One that I love is where he's like, hey, yeah, where Fletcher's like, yeah, the drummer's not quite cutting it, and I'll say it's when he makes some music. And then Andrew goes, what about Ryan Connolly?
Yeah. Well, we go back to your gay romance idea. I mean, you're reading all of Andrew's lines like she's a character in One Day or something. What about Ryan Connolly? What about Ryan? He's good, but he's not you. You know. I can still fucking see you, Mini-Me. Very funny.
Wait, one more weirdly specific thing. Sorry, the talk between. We've got to mention the date. The second bit where they're talking about, and then I'm going to start playing, and then I'm not going to see you, and then that.
Yeah, very good. This is so like. We'll save it for change because I think there's something missing.
Interesting.
Best line, Parker. This is not your boyfriend's dick. Don't come early.
That's my favourite line. That's my favourite line.
If you deliberately sabotage my band, I'll fuck you like a pig. You actually do look a little bit like a leprechaun. I think I'm going to start calling you Flannery. And of course, the winner, and here comes Mr. Gay Pride of the Upper West Side himself.
Wait,
Unfortunately,
one of my favorites. There's no fucking Mars bar down there. What are you looking at?
and you know what? You can tell he's proud of it because then he runs it back with Connolly. There's no pot of gold down there. What he loves saying.
He loves that line. Or little one. I'm upset. I love that bit.
I'm upset.
At the you neutrino one. You got 10 minutes, you pansy little fuck. You little fruit fuck.
Yeah. Why? Well, anyway, I'll talk about that in change.
Also, get the fuck out before I demolish you.
Yeah. Just to this poor woman who is like, hi guys, you got 10 minutes.
Get the fuck out before I demolish you. Okay.
It was all right, calm down. Jesus Christ. Okay. What's the change then? All right. So let's do Billy Zane from the top. It sounds like a made up. I'm sure it is a real jazz song, but like Billy Zane. Right. Fletcher as a highly qualified teacher or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't he want to get rid of Ericsson as well as Metz during the whole pitch thing? Because if Ericsson is out of pitch, why doesn't, I mean, sure, you know, it's like, I mean, it's literally the Ray Fiennes Schindler's List, who stole the chicken scene, where he goes one by one. And it's like, why not get rid of Ericsson as well? Because
I think
fear of God.
So I think my dog just threw herself into the door. Let me in. It said he was like, I've been carrying you for way too long. Do you know what I mean? It's like an ongoing thing with that guy.
Yeah, I guess.
So he used that to be like, fuck off.
Yeah. The disappearing folder, very, very quickly disappearing.
It's obviously Fletcher.
All right. But where was he? He's not that bad. Like, it's so quick. Like, he gets a coat and he turns around.
Yeah, because Andrew's looking at the other students down the hall.
Yeah.
So there's easy, someone could just go get it. So I don't know if they were like trying to make it look like, the students went and got it, but blah, blah, blah. But it's obviously Fletcher. It's literally obviously Fletcher.
Maybe that's the big notebook. I wrote you a letter every day. He's like, what is it? I still care. What is it? I always cared. I still care. What does he say? It's not over. It's not over. Sorry. It wasn't over. It's still not over. That should be his big moment in the love scene between Fletcher and Andrew. They should be like, I stole your folder. I knew you had it in you. I stole the folder.
It's here.
Yeah.
No, it's obviously Fletcher stole the folder.
Did they just have
that stupid guy? Like, my memory. You know, I can't do without my music.
Well, this is, some people can't, some people have to sight read.
Yeah, but isn't that being like, I'm an actor, but I can't learn lines?
But not really, because like most musicians have to sight read. Okay, Lauren coming out. Yeah.
This is my attack on all musicians out there. Anyway.
Do they just have a ton of drum kits? Because they're throwing drum kits willy-nilly.
He punched one. Sorry.
punches one. Fletcher throws multiple parts across the room.
There's also blood everywhere.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. And it's a very big car accident for him to just stumble out of.
Crawl out and then just have like blood. I kind of wish that he fainted or like he dropped. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, we don't get what, and then he misses one song. Well, this is the thing. The timing is incredibly tight for him to...
Bum, 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 like drumming. And then, you know, when he drops his drumstick and he's reaching down, I wish he just kind of went like that and then fell, and then like everyone leaves the stage and he's just like left there.
Yeah, I guess. But then you don't get the moment of him tackling Fletcher down to the ground.
That was a weird moment for me.
That doesn't work for you.
It does, like it obviously does, but like I'm like, Fletcher is so much stronger.
Okay.
Fletcher is ripped. And he's like, no.
And this guy's like concussed. He should.
Yeah.
He just got absolutely plowed by a truck.
And he's tackling this henchman.
And he's just like, I can still do it.
But can I say my main change?
Yes.
Oh my dog. My main change is I love the entrance of Nicole. It's one of my favorite bits of the movie.
Yes.
That is when that conversation between them of him just like talking on. They don't need to call her back.
Oh, I kind of like the I've got to ask my boyfriend moment.
Well, I liked when he was like, oh, it's him starting drumming again. And then what stops him from restarting drumming right that second is that he calls her. So it's like he's doing the thing that he originally stopped seeing her for. So I liked that. But why did we need that? Oh, I don't know if my boyfriend likes jazz. Like that to me, I didn't really like it. I was like, it's typical.
Yeah. Well, it's like, well, I feel that kind of, I feel that kind of, I think the breakup's very well done. But like, and I love Melissa Benoit. She's very good. And for a kind of nothing role. And it feels, it's too, like, the breakup comes out of nowhere. They haven't had sex or we haven't seen them. I'm not saying I want 5 minutes, like Euphoria.
No, but I prefer it like that. I think it's better like that. And I think maybe it breaks the typical thing of it with that we don't see her at the concert.
Yeah. But I mean, like, we have the first date and then the breakup scene. But like, is that a breakup? Did they really just have that one first date and then he's like, I don't think we should see each other again?
It's obviously we saw there was loads of that happened that we didn't see. But it's like the point, isn't it? Because it's like she's not a priority in his life, so why would she be a priority in the movie? Like, why?
No, I agree. I think we're just missing a moment of like, I don't know, seeing them in bed together. And like, okay, this is it. No, but no, but like there needs a moment of like, oh no, they actually have been continuing this relationship. No, they don't,
because he doesn't love her. Like, he doesn't love her. He calls her because he's lonely.
Yeah.
He's not her.
Okay. I feel like you're getting some stuff out.
No, I think it was good to stop where it was, but I don't think it needed that phone call. But I'm glad that it didn't have her like at the concert, like, you're amazing.
Oh my god. Fuck you, the moment there's literally that moment in La La Land where Emma Stone has a boring boyfriend and she's like, oh my god, Ryan Gosling, you're so good at piano and jazz. I love you.
Oh, maybe I don't like La La Land
then. Why does Fletcher take his jacket off just for the final?
Oh no, I love it because he's the Andrew also takes his jacket off, doesn't he? Yeah. I saw somewhere, but I didn't really get it. It was like, oh, Andrew's dressed the same as how Fletcher was at the beginning. But I was like a black t-shirt.
Yeah, like they're all wearing black t-shirts. That's not.
But there was kind of thing like, oh, he takes his jacket off, but no, I just think Fletcher's just getting into it.
Yeah.
And it's obviously not now we're doing a performance, it's like a lesson, and when he's in class he doesn't have his jacket on, does he?
No.
So it's like it turned into a lesson rather than a performance, so he takes his jacket off.
Yeah, you can make that. Yeah, I can see that. We're going to take our second and final break, and then we'll be back to finalize our discussion on the wonderful Whiplash. And we're back. I've also got a flavored tea now.
Ooh, random mug.
Should we play Guess the Flavor?
Is it some kind of like turmeric, ginger, lemon thing?
It's ginger. Very good.
I knew because I saw the label. It was orange.
Oh, okay. Well, are you a puker person?
I say pucker. Puker sounds like puke.
Oh, you pucker. Okay, like pucker up.
Pucker. A pucker. Yeah, I say pucker teas.
Pucker teas? What is that?
Puker. It's like puker. I do. I've just had actually the one that I had in the last break was, I think it was a Defense. Oh no, it was a Radiance.
Of course.
Of course.
I'm also massively
green tea. I'm also massively into, I don't know if you remember this, like me and Gabs were obsessed with these. So my favourite tea is Yorkshire tea. Like, do not bring PJ Tips anywhere near me. Yorkshire tea has done a brand. I'm normally a Yorkshire Gold girl.
Yeah.
They've done 4 new teas. They've done a bedtime tea, which is decaf with vanilla,
Yeah.
a toast and jam tea,
Ooh, okay.
and a biscuit tea. Me and Gabs, I'm not even kidding, probably went through about 5 boxes. We'd come home from uni and sit and have cups of biscuit tea. It is like you've just dunked a malted milk in. It's incredible.
So it's
I
like
love it.
incredibly sweet.
Not incredibly sweet, no. It's like a little bit sweet because I don't like too sweet tea.
I agree. I have with
Oh,
herbals, I'll do 1 sweetener.
Ooh, I don't do any. I don't do any sugar in any of my teas or coffee.
This is riveting conversation. Whiplash.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Okay, so a few tagline, the road to greatness can take you to the edge. I think we can do better than that. That's kind of bland.
That's the tagline of the movie.
Yeah. What about
Fucking
keep the tab?
keep drumming.
Just keep drumming.
I
Yeah.
would have like something more like the quote that he says about the words in the English language and good job. I'd have like a funny Fletcher line rather than like some weird.
I don't know if this film would have sold if on the poster the line so just play faster than you, give fucking hand jobs, will you please, was
I
on a
would watch
billboard.
it. This
I
is
would.
not your boyfriend's dick.
Don't come too early.
I'd watch it.
It is a few fun facts. This film was shot, are you ready for this? 19 days.
Like the fact even you watch the movie and you're like, okay, I get how it's shot in 19 days because the places are all they're in the same place, aren't they? The thing that's crazy about that to me is how he had to get the drumming so perfect then.
So this is the thing. It's like what was it? There was a movie I was listening to or reading about, and they were like, "This is a low budget movie. Like, we are going to be shooting on the go. You need to, like, I think it was Annette Bening learning how to swim for night, not learning how to swim, Nayat, but like learning how to be a really good swimmer. And it was like, this is a low budget movie. We can't have doubles or anything like that. You've got to be swimming this whole time.
Well, it's like the new George Clooney directed one about the rowers.
Oh yeah, did you watch that?
No, I listened to DGA podcast he did on it.
I didn't know you listened to the DGA podcast, Lauren.
I literally all of them.
Oh, Lauren, this is wonderful news. To be honest, maybe I misjudged you. I never saw you as a film girly. The fact that you just said that you've got letterboxed, I mean, it didn't shock me, but like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of
but
times.
I don't like to claim myself as like, I hate when people like judge me like, you haven't seen this film, oh my god.
No, I like, as somebody who could do that for most films, I hate it. Like, especially in relationships. Like, it is such a good thing. It's like, I get excited. I'm like, oh wow, I get to watch Goodfellas with you. I get to watch this.
I just don't like the whole like when people feel like superior because they've watched certain movies, or if they're like, oh no, I can't watch Oppenheimer at home, it's got to be at the IMAX. I'm like, fuck off.
I agree. Like, as I watched Oppenheimer at home the other day, it's still great. A good film will be good. A good film will be good all over.
Exactly. Anyway, so yeah, I listened to his podcast on it, George Clooney.
I love George. Yeah, it's all right.
I also saw how it was like 90% of the drumming in this movie was Miles Teller.
Yes, so I've got some stats for you. Although a visual double was used at times, all of Andrew's drumming was performed by Miles Teller himself to pre-recorded tracks. About 40% of Teller's drumming was used in the soundtrack. So
I love that.
But it's like, you've got 19 days. You can't spend time. All right, we're gonna get Max in. Do the like? There's too many like long shots and wide shots.
Yeah,
you know, he's got to be drumming.
Isn't that so amazing though? Like that he actually did it.
Like, yes, but he was a trained drummer. It's one of those things of like, this was a movie that came about perfect for him.
Yeah, but it's also like, even though we're praising him for like doing his job, it's still like there's so many movies now that people just double for everything. So I think it's so impressive that he actually did that. I think he
we're on
was
the. Oh, sorry.
incredible. Sorry.
Like we're on the eve of like the Black Swan dancer coming out and saying, yeah, a lot of that is CGI, her face onto mine. And like that was not a question when it came to Natalie Portman's Oscar in 2008. Everyone was like, oh my God, she really learned how to dance. Still love Black Swan. I'm not going to ever not love Black Swan. You sucked its cock. Great film. But attack it. But like, that's a different ballpark. That's not been a scandal here. And you're not going to be able to do that on 19 days. You're just not going to be able. You need him to do the stuff. And he is incredible. When asked about the film's ending, J.K. Simmons claims that he and writer Chazelle wanted to inspire discussion and debate and not decide. Are we happy for Andrew or are we lamenting his loss of humanity? The debate I love is how far is too far. How, if you're training Navy SEALs, but I don't know if it's appropriate in a musical school. and it's there and it can be productive, but there's no denying that. From my own perspective, I'd rather have a pretty girlfriend than go work with this guy and have my hands bleed all the time. I would have made a different choice. So J.K. Simmons throwing in there, ladies.
Oh no, he's a man of the ladies.
He's like like a Broadway performer that like he was in Guys and Dolls. And
I was looking at him and I'm like, he also reminds me of Bruce Willis.
Yeah, kind of just like bald.
Just bald.
Simmons and his wife Michelle Schumacher have 2 children.
Oh, that's very sweet. Good fun fact.
Like,
I think it was a perfect ending though. Like I don't have any critiques on the ending, really.
No. The ending's the reason it's a success. I don't think without that 10 minutes, we wouldn't still be talking about Whiplash. I mean, we would. It's very good up until that point.
A typical movie when it's like the girlfriend chooses him, she hugs, you know what I mean? Everyone's clapping, he gets his role at the Lincoln Center. I'm like, no, just. And also, maybe some people do just peak in college.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, the real graduate story is he's incredible and then he gets out of college and doesn't work for a few years. Like, I feel like it's more believable than it's like he gets offered all these roles after he's just honestly acted like a crazy man on stage.
Yeah,
very like.
Well, that's the thing. Well, like, is that actually gonna? Well, no, this is the thing, is that we've seen it over and over again about people. Wow, he's insane. He hijacked the whole performance. He's the most incredible drummer of our generation, and like that sort of valediction can occur. And it's like, yeah, sure, but he's also mental.
He's also absolutely mental. Got no friends.
Yeah,
like
calls up an ex and he's like, "Do you want to come see my jazz show?"
Oh no, it breaks my heart when he's like, and she's like, yeah, don't know if my boyfriend likes jazz, and he's like, yeah, it's just subjective, it's fine.
It's like, yeah, no. Which he wouldn't say. He'd be like, well, it's the best art form, so he's probably an arsehole. So, the studio originally gave Damian Chazelle a note saying he's good at drumming. We get it, in an attempt to try and cut down or take out the ending drum solo.
That is just like the whole point is of
he's good at drumming. We get it. Is the funniest thing I've heard in a while.
What other scenes would you want? The best scenes are when he is drumming, and I would argue that the best scenes are when he's not speaking and he's just practicing by himself.
Yeah, the whole film is about drumming.
Yeah, I don't understand what conversation that he seems to think we need.
Tom's big questions. What does the dad think of Andrew coming back to the JVs for the final performance? Because he's in the audience. He runs to see him. Like, so he comes and he's like, "Hey, Dad, you know that guy that we took legal action against anonymously?
You're gonna go play for him.
I'm gonna do one more performance."
I think he knows he's going insane.
Yeah,
but it's all like there was no choice whether he was going to go or not. Like, he was obviously going to go and support because they've only got each other.
Yeah.
I do think it's such a sad moment, when they're watching a film but it's like in their flat or apartment, whatever, because they can't go to the movies because of that girl.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's very sad. I like really subtle. He's a very good like father character in that he's very supportive, but he's also undercutting at times. Like, great little moment at the
like at the dinner party.
At the dinner party when he's like, well, how is that Lincoln Center thing going? And he's like, he says it as a genuine question, but also he's like, calm down. Yeah, these people are doing like basic average football and they're good at it. But what are you actually doing?
Bitch.
And, it's like, how's the Lincoln Center going? Oh no.
Yeah.
What does Fletcher actually think about Sean Casey's suicide? Because obviously he says, he's like, it's a car accident, but people might know this Sean Casey guy, so they're going to find out pretty soon that he actually hung himself. So why does he say it's a car accident? And does he actually think, like, that's my fault?
Well, he cries.
Yeah.
But this is my halfway with it. Half of me is like, oh my God, he cries. He's showing his emotion to his class. We get a glimpse that he's real and how much he loves this. But then I'm like, him as a character, I don't think he'd do that. So is that a ploy as well? So people be like, oh, well, he did cry in class. He was really sad over it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's an act he put on.
Well, I think the anger when he first gets the call and he goes into the office, I think that's more genuine. Because I'm sure there is a part of him that is angry about the effect it might have on him. And he's devoted his entire life to music and making great musicians. I'm sure there's a part of him who has the sort of suicide is jealous, selfish angle of like, what a waste of talent. You could have been the great clarinetist. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, because I feel like Fletcher wants to be part of that story of like how he goes on about the guy, the cymbal throwing. I think he wants that story for himself as well.
What, he sits in a jazz bar with a fake mustache. I heard that Fletcher was really tough on him.
I feel like he wants this story, but also there's something so crazy about how obviously he's this incredible teacher, infamous, all this, but then it's like when he's fired, he's just like performing at a jazz bar and his name is written on chalk outside. Yeah.
Well, it's like when the black guy who's running the band at the start, when Fletcher like just storms in, slams the door, the guy is like, okay, thank you. Like, the guy clearly just either hates him or he's just like, oh, here's Fletcher, great, he's going to steal some of my best musicians again. I don't think he has much respect. Is this like a teacher who everybody actually hates in the faculty and most students hate? Like, because it also, I was expecting him to, once he got fired, to be at another school. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, most people would see working for a pro jazz band away from education as an upgrade. It's a step up, and he sees it.
They make it seem the movie makes it seem like it's not.
Well, I think there is a lot of the bar scene that is genuine. Like, I think he is deeply emotional, and I think he is like sad about. I mean, let's talk about Damian Chazelle loving jazz now. I mean, it was the only joke that people just did it constantly over and over again about La La Land. Oh, Ryan Gosling saves jazz, he's white or whatever. And like Babylon has a bit of it too. And it's like, and it's an easy joke to make, I guess, but there is a lot of sincerity in J.K. Simmons' performance and the writing of like, jazz is a dying breed. And I'm sure that there are a lot of actual genuine jazz musicians who are like, jazz isn't dead. It's people like you saying that jazz is dead. It's problem.
Killing it. Yeah, but I feel like it is so emotional what he's saying, and it's like sounds sincere, but then it's like when I first watched it sounds sincere when he's asking about Andrew's parents. Like
Yeah.
it is like a ploy for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, how far do you trust him? And also when he gets on stage and then he doesn't have the music, it doesn't seem like his sincerity kind of like is streamlined and runs through. It's always like chopped off with some ploy of him doing something to Andrew.
Yeah. Any other? What else have you got in your many, many notes, Miss Stevenson?
Of what kind of things?
Oh, stuff.
Weirdly
Just
specific.
run through, go through.
What was like? There was one weirdly specific thing that I love. When it's the first scene when they go to the cinema and they're talking about the popcorn. I just love it.
Okay, I completely disagree. The idea of Raisinets and M&Ms in popcorn is disgusting.
No, but I like that whole little interaction. I just thought
Oh
it
no,
was-
it's a very sweet interaction. It's very
But
sweet.
yeah, I do. The choice of snack is horrendous. I think I've talked about that. I'm just looking through my notes. Yeah, I don't like Nicole when I've talked about that. We haven't talked about favorite set and building. Mine is the pizza place.
Okay, yeah, nice pizza place, yeah. Okay, you're on a date with a guy. He's handsome. He looks like Miles Teller, and
I would be there.
he comes to the cinema alone a lot, and sometimes with his dad. You
I
find
would
that
think
you find that charming, apparently.
if it was Miles Teller.
Yeah. You're then at the bar, and you're at the pizza place, and you're
Mhm.
like, "Oh, so what do you do? Oh, I'm deeply into my drums." And then she's like, "Oh yeah, no, oh yeah, I like that." And then do 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 do, and he's like, Mark Stevenson, 1934, rockabilly. Do you not think that would be like the ultimate ick?
Yeah, but it's him. But it is a bit of an ache because it also makes me feel like, oh, you're a bit of a loser. You know what I mean? Like
We're not talking about Goose here. We're talking about not Goose. What's he called? Goose is the original film.
I don't know who
Rooster.
you're talking.
Top Gun.
I haven't seen Top Gun.
You haven't seen Top Gun, but you've got the hots for Miles Teller.
I just have always got the hot Miles Teller. Yeah, I didn't see it because what was I doing at the time? Oh, I was at uni when it came out, and like no one wanted to go see it. I didn't want to. It's not the kind of movie I'd want to see on my own.
That's fair enough.
I feel like they'd be like, "Who was that freak in the bag?"
Oh, that's lovely because that's my entire life. I went and watched Madam
No,
Web
only because
in
it's
an
all Top
IMAX
Gun.
alone. I watched anyone but you alone, surrounded by couples.
Ew, I hate anyone but you.
It was very bad.
I haven't watched it, but I just know it's bad. I'm also a Sydney Sweeney hater.
No, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
She's only where she is because she's like classically incredibly attractive.
Yes, but she's very good as Cassie, and
Yeah, amazing as Cassie.
and very good in. Did you watch Reality, the movie she was in? As
No.
Reality winner, she was very good in that.
She's also in the new Madam Web, isn't she?
I watched it the other day. She was pretty good in it. She had some funny lines.
Okay, maybe I'm just hating them. I am.
I think you are because I
It's
don't
just her-
think.
I just
Yes.
didn't like how they were advertising the movie be like her having an affair.
That's not her. That's
I was confused, and also, have you seen all the videos they've put on TikTok advertising it? That made me hate it.
Well, that was terrible. Yes.
Horrendous.
And
And
my
at the
movie.
the People's Choice Awards,
Yeah.
standing at the black.
It's like, please shut the fuck up. Glenn Powell's great. Oh, you don't like Glenn Powell either. Too cut and dry. He's too cut and dry for you, isn't he? I know your taste.
He's just a bit like,
Milk toast.
just like a rich tea. Do you know what I mean? Just like you
Rich
tasty.
teas are lovely.
I mean,
You're tasty.
you're
But-
tasty. Not got much substance.
I think you should be ready because we're watching the Oscars. I mean, this comes out. I think this is going to be
actually
released
have
in
not watched
August.
hardly any of the Oscars things.
I think Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney will will do an award.
Of course they will. I'm not
And
probably
they'll
like,
And they'll
It's
probably
not gone.
sing Natasha
Yeah,
Bedingfield.
then Natasha Bedingfield, like she did. Come in.
Yeah. It's just feel the rain on your cheek.
Also, another thing that I love, when in the last scene where he looks at his hands, he's got no blisters.
Yeah, but like I don't know what that means. It's one of those things of like, is this supposed to be a
I mean,
dream?
no, because he's had so much time off.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah. What, when he's like working in a hot dog stand? That's college. That's graduate life.
that graduate life. Oh, I liked another random thing. I loved, even though it was obviously the movie is very loud, chaotic, and because obviously it's sound, but I love how they had like a lot of stillness in it. And
Well,
how there was elements where it was
yeah.
quiet. You can hear the footsteps. You can hear like the plasters. You can hear the jacket going off. You can hear him picking up his sticks. Like I loved those elements of work as well because it kind of like contrasted it out.
Well, even like it's when he's not drumming and that's not part of his life. An interesting choice when he goes to the jazz bar and sees Fletcher, that is a period where he is not drumming. They even choose a softer, just a soft ballad piano. He doesn't go into the bar and it's and you're like, oh yeah, I miss this, man. It's like do do do. I don't know if you would like or hate La La Land.
Maybe I'll watch it tonight.
I think you'd mostly dislike it.
Oh.
But I don't know.
Well, I also love that I think the stillness, and also I love the long corridor shots.
Lots of long corridor shots, yeah.
And also the colours of like the walls.
Mm.
I know that's a weird thing, but like that dark green that's on the corridors.
It's just a very well made and well shot film. It's one of those, I mean, it wasn't his debut because he made like an 80-minute black and white thing again about jazz called Guy and Madeline Talking a Park Bench or something. But like, it's just got the vibe of a Reservoir Dogs or some of like, like auteur, boom, I'm on the scene, incredible first film, very few flaws.
And it doesn't drop, even though there's some, it's like, it's not even slow at times, just when there's like, he's not talking, he's not drumming, there's like, there's no, like.
Well, I think Chazelle is he's incredibly good at pace. I mean, I infamously thought, that Babylon was well paced and I wouldn't cut anything from Babylon. But like, even though that's 3 hours and 8 minutes, but First Man is a movie that just nobody talks about anymore. And I thought First Man was rather excellent.
Maybe I need to watch that as well.
It's very good. Claire Foy's great. Ryan Gosling's wonderful. That's
Love
one of those
them.
performances where Ryan Gosling's playing Neil Armstrong and he's just completely subtle, like Neil Armstrong was, and very quiet. And he's brilliant in it. But nobody talks about it as a great performance because, it doesn't have like, I'm going to go to the moon and you don't understand me. It doesn't have a big
Have you
shout.
seen the whole thing at the moment of, I'm about to say Buzz Lightyear. He's not called Buzz Lightyear. He's called Buzz though, isn't he?
Who?
The other astronaut. I swear he's called
Buzz Aldrin. Yes.
Yeah, not Buzz Lightyear. Oh my God. That's why it's called Buzz Lightyear. Have you seen his whole thing of saying that he didn't go to the moon?
Of him saying he didn't go to the moon?
He did a Q&A and he was like, what's it like going to the moon? And he was like, you tell me, I haven't been.
I've seen a lot of images of people coming up to him and asking him about if the moon landing was faked and him getting very, very angry.
But I think it is fake.
Oh, Lauren.
Because let me just say this, my dad said this and I was like, that's actually funny. He said to get like the football channel or whatever, he had to stand outside on like a big rock and put his satellite thing in the sky to get a connection to get like the news or whatever. But suddenly we can all watch the moon landing. It's like, and then he said after the 10 o'clock news your TV just turned off.
Yeah.
But we can all watch the moon.
Yeah. Like
things like that. I'm like, and also, why haven't we gone back?
Well, we did.
Yeah, but we didn't walk on it, did we?
We decided we're not going back to the moon, I think.
Oh yeah. That fits. We've decided we're not going.
Lauren, I've missed you dearly, and it's these sorts of things that remind me of my dear friendship. Any final thoughts on Whiplash?
The moon landing. Any final thoughts? Actually, no, I think I've actually said everything.
Yeah, no, it's good. So next up, I sandwiched The Whale. So yeah, I watched The Whale and I was like, ugh.
Wait, so we're doing the whale in this video as well?
No, the longest. No,
How
no.
long? How many
No,
more
we're-
breaks are we gonna have?
No, we're done, and then we'll talk about The Whale in a couple of weeks. And yes, no, yeah,
So you've watched the whale.
yeah, I watch everything.
I'm interested to hear why you hate it so much. Because I don't think it's a movie that's like easily hateable.
Mm.
Because there's not like big events that happen.
I just think everybody's in a different film, and it just doesn't work for me. I'm sorry. Anyway, well, but that's another one where I'm like, I don't know how to break this down. But this, I have come across lots of people who are like, no, the Whale is the most I've cried ever at a film.
I thought you'd like it because I feel like it does translate from the theatre play. Like it feels
Justice to the OBs.
No, but I feel like you can tell that it was a play.
Yeah, you're saying that like it's a good thing, or?
Yeah, I feel like you'd like it because of that.
I don't think the play is very strong in the first place.
Well, I don't think the play is very strong either because I don't think you can successfully have it.
Oh, yeah.
Size on the stage.
I mean, we'll talk about it next week. But do you remember when people like they should have cast somebody who was genuinely morbidly obese? Like, the whole point is that he's got health issues because of it. What are you gonna do?
We're gonna have him actually die at the end.
Yeah, it's good. Well, no, he flies. You're not telling me that is a good. Anyway, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it when we talk about it. Bye, Lauren.
Bye.
Da ba da ba da ba da